Good morning or evening, friends. It is I, Wise Guys, and I am so ready for this game to drop. I've been holding this for a while. I've got some other things I'm working on regarding Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fighter Z, whatever. I've been holding this since the beta, kind of toying around with it, seeing what I want to do with it, and that's why this video is so long. It's just a lot of match footage from the beta. If you saw the last video I had for the beta, it was very negative. Or maybe not very negative, because I think I'm very happy with the game itself. I was not so happy with the beta experience. This time, this move is so sweet. This time I am more into just talking about the game and what I like about it. I'm a big fan of cell shaded things. I know that there are different levels of cell shade, and some people like it, some people don't. That's fine. This game comes to life on cell shading. Like, there's a lot of love poured into the game, and you can feel it. All the references they pour in, the special dramatic scenes they do, the finishes. From what I understand, there's not a single panel in this game that's not something you would not find somewhere in Dragon Ball Z lore. Again, I'm particularly impressed with the dramatic finishes. For example, the one where Goku fights Beerus. If you have not seen that, I hope you have the opportunity to play through it, or to go to YouTube and see it, or something like that, because it is not shot for shot the anime, but there are tweaks here and there. I don't think any of the tweaks are for the lesser. I think they're all like enhancing what's already there. The game seems to take the subject matter very seriously, and because of that, I take this game seriously. And that is why I cannot wait for it to drop on the 26th, which is Friday. I was going to take off work, and it turns out I don't have to. I wasn't actually going to take off work. I can't be doing all that. But turns out I don't have to, because I won't have to work that day anyway. So, ha-ha! I'm going to be playing and studying and playing and studying. Either way, what you're seeing now are some interesting fights. This is going to be Nappa's level 3 here, looking like Raccoon's eraser gun. The game is very simple in a number of different ways. The motions that you do to learn different moves and supers and that type of thing are pretty much the same. A lot of quarter circle forward, quarter circle back type things. Quarter circle forward usually gives you your level 1 super attacks. Quarter circle back gives you level 3 super attacks. And that's all great. This is one of my first matches with Krillin, who you're going to be seeing a lot of if you're watching this channel. I'm a big Krillin fan. Obviously I'm still learning, you can tell that. You can tell the player I'm playing against is still learning. Making a bunch of stupid mistakes, both of us. And some of that will be pointed out in the future. Like I said, I am working on a new series, and I'm hoping you guys will love it. But until then, you know, get us with this. One of the cool things about this game are just the mechanics. The mechanics are very simple. Even the attack strings, the combos, everything about the game is very simple and streamlined. It's not quite paper, rock, scissors style, but there are certain things that I think are very strong, and they kind of help you through the game. One of which being that Z-dash that you see a lot when you see the chase. What he hit me with and chased me with was basically the throw. I think it's called Dragon Rush. Dragon Rush is something you're going to see a lot of as well, particularly in older levels or in newer games. There's a couple of ways around that. I'll get to that later on. That throw, though, it's not really a throw. It's kind of a short-range dash. It's just basically, I keep calling it a throw because it is basically serving the purpose of a throw. You can't block it, and it's basically there for if your opponent's being a little too defensive, you have a way to open them up. Boom! Piccolo! Quarter circle back plus attack, particularly your Kai Blast. A lot of times will give you your level 3. Your level 3 attack is a nice little cinematic super. All of them are pretty. Or at least most of them are pretty. I haven't seen one that I don't think is pretty yet, but I haven't seen all the characters just yet. Good lord. Also, that Sparking Blast is pretty beast. Learning how to properly utilize Sparking Blast is going to be a big deal. I'm playing around with the characters that I saw. Dragon Ball FighterZ has a very robust roster. I'm very interested to kind of break into it and check out some of the other characters, potentially or especially Yamcha and Tien Shin Han. I like Android 21. I also like that they've made Android 21 Imagine, which is Majin Android 21. That's going to be sweet. But I know that's going to be one of those characters that everybody loves, because she's going to be a waifu status from day one. So I'm expecting everybody and their mama to come after her, and that to be one of the most played characters in the game. So I think there will be a lot of technology and stuff that is introduced from her very quickly. I'm going to be really looking forward to see the characters that you don't see as much. I'm betting you don't see a whole lot of Krillin until people realize how tricky he is. Having played a little bit of Android 18, I'm interested to see how much technology we get from her, because a lot of her technology goes around, or a lot of her, what you learn from her is going to revolve around how she uses Android 17. And I don't think it's, having played her, I don't think it's easily intuitive just to say this is how you're going to work him into a combo and do that kind of thing. Or at least I didn't gather that from the first couple times I played, but it took me a while to kind of get used to the game. Even they kind of give you the basics, the hollow skeleton of it, and the more you kind of tinker around with things, the more you find about it. So like on this one, we have a more straightforward character in Vegeta going after Krillin. I like this because in most games like this, you would not be able to have a serious match between Krillin and Vegeta. And on this one, Krillin's in there balling, man. Krillin got Vegeta on the ropes. Ain't that something? I really like that little solar flare. But I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing, the characters that you don't see a lot of, figuring out how they're gonna play, because I feel like they're gonna be some of the stronger characters in the game. Like, as I understand, Tien is a very interesting character in that a lot of his damage is gonna depend on how much damage you want to inflict upon yourself to do like his level 3. Doesn't sound like a great idea, but the people who are going to be able to play around it, those are going to be the ones I really want to look forward to. That's how you get those, like in Street Fighter 4, those Gen Masters, man. That's what you look for. You look for the harder characters, because that's where you find the better players a lot of the time. Either way, this is a kind of unconventional team I'm playing with now, in that Piccolo, Krillin, and Android 18, I don't think either of them play quite as straightforward as like a Goku or a Vegeta. That is not to say that they are somehow harder to play or anything. I just don't think I don't think their combos roll quite as easily as I love that attack though. I'm gonna have to try to figure out the best ways to make use of that, because being able to see what your opponent's about to do and one-up them goes a long way. And because Android 18's regular super involves her teleporting above the person and then dropping a beam directly on them, she's going to be able to dodge a lot of special attacks that way. And I can't wait. Miss me? You miss me. Ha-ha! Charlie Murphy! And that's good to know, because now you can see that some attacks have invincibility. This is one version of her level 3 here. There's another version, or the normal version uses her brother to come in. Android 17 comes in. If you have Krillin on your team and he's still alive and you start that combo with Android 18, then Krillin comes in instead of Android 17 to deliver that other beam attack. And I think the little things like that are where this game are going to shine. Just the ability to keep your opponent guessing, keep you smiling, be able to look at the screen and say, man, that's actually some cool little, a little bit of cool flavor they put into the game that they didn't have to do. They could have just left it with Android 17 every time, that'd been fine. But the fact that if they're on the same team, they can get together and team up for an attack. I mean, they're husband and wife. It just makes sense. It's cool. So glad I did that. I wanted him to block that attack and make it ultimately futile. That was great. I have to get used to the game style, just because a lot of the aerial games I have, or I've played, aren't necessarily like anime style games. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is another team, or Marvel vs. Capcom 2 even, is another team-based game, but they're not quite the same style. If you've played a lot of anime fighters like Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear or something like that, you can kind of understand what I mean by that. They're not quite the same as the games that you're playing. And I think that's very important. In this particular game, a lot of what you go through is that it's light, medium, heavy Kai. That's typically what you roll through as you attack, light, medium, heavy Kai. You get double jumps in the air, little things like that that keep your combos going. The trick will be seeing how you can input some special moves in to extend those combos and make them more potent. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. I've seen some people who do it and do it well. It doesn't flow quite as well for me. And I did pretty well during the beta as far as my win-loss record. Didn't do great, but I mean, for me never playing the game before, it felt good. I felt like I was in a decent place. But I look forward to seeing how I do as time progresses. And I know a lot of it's just going to take practice. I mean, getting in the lab with Krillin, figuring out how to use Kai Blast a little bit better, that's going to change things a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty certain Krillin can control his Kai Blast after he's fired. He's one of the characters who can do things like that. And one of the things he can do is take his Kai Blast, fire it, make it go straight up in the air, and then straight back down. Or maybe not straight, but it goes up in the air, then moves over a little bit and comes straight back down on somebody. So it literally goes off the entire screen and then falls back toward the opponent. And you control this. So I think things like that are going to be interesting to see the best way you can call in assists, just do other types of attacks and how you can bring your opponent in or bring your combos in. There are a number of different ways to catch people who are, trying to run away or hide or that kind of thing. You got your Dragon Rush, you got your dashes. There's a move that allows you to teleport behind your opponent and do an attack, which can be used both offensively and defensively as long as you got the meter for it. And, most importantly, it flows with the storyline, man. Again, there's a lot of love put into this game. A lot of love put into this game, and I enjoy every single second of it. Right now, we're going in with Raditz. I'm sorry, not Raditz. My bad. Nappa. Go, Snapper! I think Nappa is going to be a character I really enjoy. The fun thing with Nappa is that he focuses a lot on the Cybermen. Who do that? Oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that so cute? It gave her a bear hug and exploded. Isn't that awesome? And canon? Either way. I think it's going to be interesting to see characters like him develop. I don't think Nappa has a lot of special moves, but he hits like a truck. And being able to plant those Cybermen forces your opponent to pay very close attention to what's going on. Because if they're on the attack, and you're in the right position, that Cyberman's not gonna get hit, and it's gonna disrupt their attack. It's almost like having a little combo breaker in your pocket, and I love it because it's not one where the attack. I know I said in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, like with the Reality Stone and that type of thing, I felt like if you got hit, it should take that off because it's a homing attack. I don't think the Cybermen should be taken off, mainly because I think the Cybermen can be dealt with a lot easier. For example, the Cybermen don't track like the Reality Stone does. The Cybermen don't go all the way up in the air; they stay on the ground. And the majority of those attacks are easily blockable. I don't think it's going to be so much of a circumstance where if the Cybermen are out there, you're just automatically on the defensive. I've played with these with Nappa for a little bit during the beta. Maybe 10-15 matches with Nappa. Maybe. The thing with Nappa is with those Cybermen, if your opponent's paying attention at all or being any way savvy, they can get around that Cybermen, throw something at you, take out both your Cybermen and you at the same time. It's not quite the force that I think that the Reality Stone is. Because I don't think anything in this game really soaks the hit. like in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. A lot of projectiles will soak you into other projectiles. This one, most of the projectiles are beams, so it'll just burn right through it. I mean, a Kamehameha is very easy motion, very easy attack. Piccolo dropping off. As you have seen, Piccolo also has his Hell Zone grenade. It is very interesting to see. It is very fun to watch. Very fun to play. I also really like the intros and the art on those match end videos. I think those are very well done. I kind of want to check the English dubs. I'm a big English dub fan if it's done correctly. A lot of times what I hear first is what I like, but sometimes voices don't match. And so you just gotta go what you like better. Adult Gohan is probably one of the more fun characters to play right now, actually. And this guy is trying to spam. See? In that case, you can see what I meant by the Cybermen kind of being a little more ineffective than anything. They're not really doing much. Like, I'm not able to just straight up punish. It takes such a long time for them to get out of the ground. You can see where they're coming from. There is a light version of it that comes out of the ground a little faster, but even then it's not. Even then, by the time they get out of the ground and then have to kind of approach you, it's nowhere near as lethal. It just doesn't feel as lethal, let me say that. Also, it's very important to know that you can take out that Dragon Rush. There will be more to come on that. Not Dragon Rush, but that dash. There'll be more to come on that, but just know that even the things that look like they're kind of overpowered aren't quite as overpowered as they look. Look at that! Learning combos on the fly. Yes! Get him, boo! That yellow boo? That jaundice boo? Ow. Ow. Boo versus boo. We got Boo Boo in the house. Hey there, Yogi. We need the picnic basket. Don't hate on my Hanna-Barbera, man. Some of y'all just don't know. Hanna-Barbera was that fire. I haven't played with a lot of the villains that people like more. So I haven't played a lot of Vegeta. I haven't played a lot of Cell. I didn't play a lot of Frieza. This particular team has all those guys in it. But I didn't get a chance to play against, do the full thing against a lot of them. So, which I'll be honest, kind of sucks. But part of the reason is because you see a lot of Frieza, and from what I understand, Cell may be one of the better characters in the game right now. You also see a lot of Boo. I just kind of want to explore some of the other characters first. Some of the characters I might not see a lot more of. Mainly, not just for the notion of being able to play them, but on a competitive level. If you don't know what your opponent's doing, or what kind of attacks they've worked on, it's really hard to defend against it. I really like that. Yeah. I know. Transition was so pretty. Oof. Skadoosh. Got a little lag coming in. But we're still playable. On this team, I think Nappa's probably the character I know the most. So I think we're in the most... We can lose pretty much everybody but Nappa, just because I don't really know how to play the other two characters. And the problem is, other than the fact that we just lost Nappa, I don't even know how to play Nappa that well. At this point, I was sincerely just trying to play the game and learn as many new characters as I possibly could, or kind of get a taste of as many new characters as I possibly could. See stuff like that where combos are together, but they don't flow naturally. You know what I mean? It's not like, I've been playing this, the combo's gonna flow, I'm gonna do my super at the end of the combo, it's gonna hit and connect. It's not quite the same on that one, on this game. And we may have a comeback. We may have a comeback. I am Frieza. Did I hit? No. I still have a Sparking Blast. Sparking Blast is one of the better tools in the game. It's basically an X Factor. Except I don't hear people complaining about it like people complain about X Factor. It can up some of your... I want to say it ups your damage potential. I'm not 100% sure. I think it ups damage, and I think it regenerates red health or blue health or recoverable health. Let's say that. Guile music didn't get a chance to play on this one. Did not make that full comeback. But we're still doing all right. Look at that screen. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Huh? I try to rematch on most games I play unless the connection is just terrible. And I don't think the connection is terrible on this one. I just don't. It has some stutters and some hiccups, but I don't think it's terrible on this one. What, 6-7 frames? 6-7 frames is kind of a lot. So this was a little later in the beta, and so I'm learning a few more things. I'm trying out a few more things. So you're going to see more of the assists and more attempts at combos and things in this, and you've seen pretty much the entire rest of the video. Just because, again, learning, trying to get better, and nearing the end of the beta, trying things out. I'm trying to figure out the foundation of my gameplay at this point. That dashing charge. I don't think I can combo into it, but I'm looking into like Okezimi, I think. That's how you pronounce it. Looking into wake up options and that type of thing. Yeah! Yeah, Napple! That's right. You can make them swap. You can absolutely make them. Look at that! I haven't done much of that all series. This entire video I haven't done much of that, but I'm learning things. Isn't that great? And that's just going to come with time. The more comfortable you get with the game, the more you're going to be willing to try things like that. What you want, Gohan? I've learned some things to rely on and things to not rely on. And that's pretty sick, right? Let him think I was gonna give him what he wanted, and I hit him with that overhead chop. Learn that you can't rely on a lot of the things that a lot of people want you to rely on. The dashes, the throws, all those kind of things. They leave you pretty open if you mess up. So, I'm trying to learn a little bit more action boss. About that action boss. Yeah, hit him with that overhead chop too. Who else wants that overhead chop? Also, this particular team has a lot of I did have the meter. I should have comboed that. Has a lot of characters that do like instant damage. Like their supers aren't beams; they're just explosions, and I like that. Let me dashing around. We throw key to the sky, homie. Yeah, look at those stills though. Those stills are so well done. Alright. 1-1. We're gonna go into this final battle and see what we got. Gohan has been trying to be a menace, but Ghost Nappa. I didn't say Raditz that time, right? Nappa? Yeah, okay. Ghost Nappa is on it. I know who Raditz is. Actually, the first Dragon Ball Z, or actually the first Dragon Ball that I saw was a Dragon Ball Z tape that I bought called, I take that back, the first one I saw was an episode with the fight with Goku and Vegeta. But the first anime tape that I bought, the first, like my biggest introduction to anime I think, was buying Dragon Ball Z The Arrival. And that's where Raditz comes in and Piccolo and Goku have to fight Raditz, and it's just that was the start of my anime. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Anyway, as you see, my boy Boo moves like a pinball, and he can put forth a whole lot of pressure in a very limited amount of time. And so I think I like him for that. He may make it on a team. You candy. I ate you. Also, if you have not seen 21, the android / Majin, Android 21 is also able to turn her enemies into various sweets and other delicacies, and I appreciate that. I put some respect on it. Down to 2-2. Relatively even match. It can go either way. I am on the low end of this rubber match, and hopefully we can come out with a victory. Again, I don't think I can combo into that, but I don't think I knew that just yet. Still trying some things out. But still able to, you know, maintain a pretty good amount of pressure there. Didn't have to dash in on Gohan. Was able to use that nice little super. Then with that blast. Boom! And the death ball. And now Frieza got you locked in the corner, dog. That being said, Gohan was trying to charge up his ki, which I think is one of the more useless things in this game, because you can finally do what you never see them do in the actual show, and that's when you see somebody standing still, yelling, trying to power up, you punch them in the mouth. That just makes sense. I think if you get some good timing, you can keep them. You know, you can get a little bit here and there until you power all the way up. But my dude, if you see somebody just standing there, punch them in the mouth. I think when the game comes out, I'm going to try to figure out little opportunities and windows that make my opponent think I'm going to attack, go into the charge, and then go for the attack. Catch them off guard when they try to counter me. It's the end of the road. Let's see what we got. Oh no. Oh yeah. It's not how it happened in the show, but that's alright. Anyway, waiting for it. Again, on the 26th, the game comes out. If you like, hit that like button. Give me a comment if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. Really appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.